So hello everyone, welcome to the episode 2. Herein we will set up VS Code and Jupyter on our Mac. So let's do it. Now let's open our browser. Let's first install VS Code onto our system. VS Code. Download for Mac. So it's gonna take some time. So VS Code is now downloaded to the system. Let's just install it into our system first. Drag and drop in the application. Now that VS Code is installed in our system, let's just verify it. Let's open the apps and search VS Code. We would mostly find VS Code here and open it. This is the interface of VS Code, right? So this is the total interface. Okay. Now what I've learned after doing some research, there is also another option of opening VS Code without having to go to the application, that is through terminal. Let's just type terminal, open terminal. Now if I want to open VS Code, I just type this command code dot, it will open VS Code. And what I find is that code is basically a command to open VS Code which is added to the path. If I type which code, say that it is there in the local bin, so VS Code gets opened using this code. We will jump later on to how to use VS Code, but first let's create a folder. mkdir practice. Now it will open a folder in the current directory. If I type ls, else we can see here. So it is opening a new folder. Let's get inside the folder. Done. Now we can write programs inside the terminal itself. So I'll just go ahead with the simple one which I've learned. Now if I want to verify whether Python is installed, as we know from the previous episode, Python 3 version, we know that the latest version is installed, right? Got it. So let's just create a simple file like nano test.py. Nano is basically a text editor, simple text editor. We'll just write print hello Shwajit. Then just close it. Now we just do Ctrl+0, save. Let's just enter and Ctrl X. Now a file will be created. What is the content of the file? We can just verify it using cat. It is print hello world. Now in order to run it, I just need to type Python 3 test.py. It printed that message. Though some application, some small codes can be run using this part, it's better to go for a full-fledged text editor. That's where VS Code comes in. Now let's open that file from VS Code directly. Code test.py. Now it directly opened here. Done. So if I run it, it will mostly give out the output hello Bishwajit. Done. So we can write it. Means this is a basically blank canvas on which we are able to write our codes. VS Code is basically a text editor, but we need to give the editor an interpreter to run. So in this case it is Python, that .py, and we have installed the extension Python. so that VS Code will know that what we have to run. Python is installed. It's already installed. Okay. Now there is one more text editor which is more efficient than VS Code. Now what happened is that this is a blank canvas, as you can see. The problem here is that we need to write the program, then it will execute it. We will not be able to check part of our program, basically print the output for a certain part of our program. That's where the Jupyter comes. It is basically a notebook, and it also need Python interpreter to know which program to run, but it provides us blocks of codes. Now I will just show how you can use Jupyter. We have installed Jupyter here. You can use Jupyter on the web, or you can use it in the VS Code itself. It comes bundled with VS Code. Now Jupyter is already installed in my system, so I don't need to be worried about it. Got it? Now let's just cut this part. What you're gonna do is that Jupyter, just like Python file, which runs simply by .py, I need to create another file. In that case, just type nano salary.ipynb. Now I'll just write salary is equal to 50,000. Print salary. Done. We'll just save it. The editor could not be opened due to unexpected error. Please consult the log for more details. Why was it showing error? ipynb file should have been opened. Just check what mistake did we do in here. I should have opened directly out here where there is that part. Let's search why it is showing. Let's search on the internet why. Just write code tests ipynb not opening pyt Jupyter. Can't open ipynb file. Yeah, I will just think. It says I need to still downgrade Jupyter Extension. Okay, let's try it. Jupyter, right? Let's uninstall it and install it again. But it should open Jupyter version, I guess. But why it is not opening? Jupyter, it is not opening Jupyter. Must be some issue out here. I hope you guys will know if I'm making any error, and any suggestion if you have, feel free to just post it on the comments so that I can improve. Let's just cut this part. So open the terminal. Clear. Can we see Jupyter version? Is there any command? It won't say that, since it is already installed using VS Code, so I don't think it will work like that. Let's create another file. touch mux ipynb. Then now let's just open. It opened. Okay, what I think is that the error that we got here was when I created a blank Jupyter notebook, it opened Jupyter. But if when I created this one, it didn't open. Why is that so? Is there any solutions out there? Let's see. See it has any solutions or not. Occurs because invalid characterization format. When you create an entirely empty VS code, Jupyter treats it completely blank. However, when you write a text or plain Python code directly into that file, what does it has? What I understood is that we have opened a Jupyter file notebook basically. So this is a block where we will type our code and execute. So we can have multiple blocks. So like for instance, we'll write marks is equal to 90. Print marks. Now here it says Python environment. Okay, we need to select the kernel. Now Jupyter doesn't know what is this code. If it is Python, then which version of Python I am doing. Now it says Python environment. I will come to environment in the next video. For now we will select the latest one, that is Python 3.14.6. So if I run the code now, it says that I need to install ipykernel package. What is that? To run file using says I need to install ipykernel package. So what does it do? What is that? Okay. The reason is that your VS Code terminal is in the environment. Deep learning, in this case. VS Code response. Really enter the current selected VS Code environment. So now when I type this code, it is not installing, rather it is just showing this. So after I went through this error, it says that kernel externally managed environment. This environment externally managed to install Python package, try view install a Python library isn't in Overview or use a virtual environment. We need to use a virtual environment to do this. So let's first learn what is virtual environment. Thereafter we will run the Jupyter code. No, right? What I've learned online, let me just point it out. Virtual environment in Python. Let's first find it. Is an isolated directory that contains its own Python interpreter tools and libraries. Okay. Navigate to part. So why do we need a virtual environment? Why we need a virtual environment? Dependency between different Python. We need a single global phone. Okay, what I understood is that basically virtual environment is simply a different kind of, just imagine it that different boxes that have different things. Just like for instance, if you are creating a program that use this tool with this version, then we can create it using virtual environment. So different projects will demand different versions. For example, a project demands Python older version, that we have a system Python version. So some projects might need the latest one. So it's basically a isolated box which will have its own Python interpreter. We have all the packages that we can install it directly there, and it won't affect our main program or main system files. What you're going to do is that we will create our own Python environment. We have just clear out the screen first. Clear. Now in ls we are created this folder. Let's go inside the directory Python. Now we are inside this. Let's create a Python environment inside it. So how are we gonna create it? I think we've seen it here. This is the way to create a Python environment. So 3nvnb.vnv. Let's just go to the documentation part, that will be much easier. VNV. Okay, let's create a Python environment. So let's type Python 3, then minus of n. We'll talk about that also, why we are using minus of n. Then venv, virtual environment. I will just write let's create a Python virtual environment as test. Now I guess our virtual environment is created. This is, if we go inside test, will we get anything? So it has all these configuration files. Got it. So now we'll just get back. Now we have created this virtual environment. Now to activate it, we will use source. For that part, just a minute, we will basically need that to create it. This is the command, source. Let's see, source venv/bin, I guess it means dot slash bin. What mistake I am doing is, sorry, VNV is the virtual name of the virtual environment. So I need to write, right? So it will be test slash bin activate. So you can see our virtual environment is activated. Now if we type python 3 version, it will show the same version because it won't affect that part. It will by default show the current python version installed, correct? Now pip 3 version, we have the current version of pip. Now what you're going to do is that let's type ls. So let's open, that is code marks. Now let's type marks is equal to 90, print marks. Let's select the kernel. So to select the kernel, we will be using which one? This test.py. This is our current environment. Says to install kernel. The reason in the first instance it didn't work was because it's showing that we are basically trying to install the kernel onto the main system, and if some corrupt, it might corrupt, so it will be an issue later on. That's the reason why we have to create a virtual environment. We run it 90. Now the best part here of Jupyter that you know is that we can execute different blocks of codes. Like I can create different code blocks and I can execute it there only. Like for instance 5 plus 5, what will it do? It will print 10. Got it? So it will be pretty much easier for us to segregate our code and get the output or get what we are trying to achieve in the code. So this is what I've understood now. So I hope that will be much helpful for me now. Now considering this part, I have installed a Python using Brew. I have installed VS Code, and also I have created a virtual environment. So that's the thing.